What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? And welcome back to TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. And yes, we are back just after the 3 p.m. hour here on July the 28th, 2020. And we have more 2020 predictions. As you all know, we're working on the running backs right now. If you didn't check out the quarterback videos, you got to go back and go watch those. Also, we also did Jordan Howard earlier today. Make sure you check this one out. This one right here is on Matt Breida, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get to more of him in a second. Before we do, hit that like button because we're trying to get over 200 likes on every video. Let your friends and family members know about the channel as well. And make sure that you go check me out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at TDPHINSTALK. You can also find my content at DolphinsTalk.com. And as always, thank you to all the Patreon members. Thank you to the Mod Squad. And thank you to those who donate to the channel via PayPal, Cash App, and via Super Chat. It's greatly appreciated to keep the lights on, baby. Y'all know what time it is. But anywho, it's time to predict the future. Up on deck, ladies and gentlemen, Matt Breida. Matt Breida, okay? Matt Breida. Some people pronounce it different. I got Matt Breida. Correct me if I'm wrong. Acknowledge me if I'm right, all right? All right, but Matt Breida, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what happened to my bio slides. It looks like I'm missing like 8 players out of the 50-something that I did. I got to figure that out. But I can tell you about Matt Breida, okay? Matt Breida has been in the league for 3 years. This will be his 4th season. So he's obviously coming off of, he's about to basically he's basically becoming a veteran, okay? He's coming off of his rookie stint. What I call the first 4 years of any player is their rookie stint. Now, he's done all 3 years with the San Francisco 49ers, okay? Matt Breida is a particular talent, okay? He's very versatile. He's one of the fastest players in the league. And he's just explosive in the open field, ladies and gentlemen. That's his MO. That is his MO. He can run the ball, and he's very explosive. Now, I want to give you a little history about him. His rookie season, he only rushed for 105 yards, but he caught 180 yards worth of passes. Interesting, ain't it? He rushed for 100. No, excuse me. Oh, please. I mean, he rushed 105 times, and he had 465 yards in his rookie season as a non-starter, okay? He never started a game, and he rushed for 465 yards, and he caught 180 yards worth of receptions, okay? I'm going to outline these because I want you to notice a specific trend of why I think he's going to be our number 1 back on the depth chart. And even if he's not on the depth chart as number 1, his numbers are going to reflect our number 1, all right? All right, his second season, 153 rushes. He had 814 yards. And that was the season he actually got an opportunity to start. But he only started 13 games. He actually didn't even play, I believe, 3 games. So 814 yards and didn't play 3 games, y'all. So in 13 games, let me see how much yards per game is 58. Multiply that by 3, another 150. So he would have been about a 975-yard back that year that he played with San Francisco in 2018. But he only played 13 games, garnishing 814 yards, and he had 261 reception yards. Let me repeat that again, 261 receiving yards. So he goes from 180 receiving yards to 261 receiving yards. What about last year, though, TD? He only started 5 games. He rushed for 623 yards, and he had 120 reception yards. 5 games started, 120 receiving yards. Now, remember, we just talked about Jordan Howard and how he pretty much, let me go back and look. Make sure I ain't losing it here. Jordan Howard played 10 games last year and had 69 receiving yards. 69. Matt Breida started 5 games last year and had 120 receiving yards. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Breida. Here are his 2019 stats. 623 yards, 120 receiving yards, averaged 5.1 yards per carry, and 1 touchdown, ladies and gentlemen. 1 touchdown. 1 touchdown. Now, I want y'all to really look at that for a second. And before I even go any further, I want to hear from you all. Talk to me. Who's going to be the starter? Who's going to be the number one back on this roster? Because I already had my opinion. I never actually got to hear from you all. I never actually got to get your opinion on who's going to be the starter. So y'all let me know in the comment section right now, who's going to be the starter this year? Who is it going to be? Y'all hit that like button on your way in. Who is it going to be? Who's going to be the starter? Is it going to be Matt Breida or Jordan Howard or Kalen Ballage? Is it somebody else? Y'all let me know in the comment section. I have to make sure that because for some reason I have a little pause in my stream. Let me make sure that I'm good and it's working. All right, we're good. Let me make sure the chat working. If you're in the chat, put anything in the chat real quick. I want to see if it's working. But anywho, let's keep it moving, guys. So here's why I think that Matt Breida is going to start, okay? In his career, he hasn't put up as much rushing yards as Jordan Howard, okay? Jordan Howard virtually almost had 3 1,000-yard seasons. All right, I see y'all coming through now. Jordan Howard had almost 3 1,000-yard seasons, okay? TD, this man hasn't even reached 1,000 yards, and you say he's going to be the starting running back? Well, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. You have to look at context. Jordan Howard was the guy for his team. He was the starting running back, and the backup running back didn't get nearly as many reps as he did in those seasons. He was the premier guy, okay? That's who he was for his team. But now Matt Breida has always split carries. Matt Breida has always been on a team that had 2 to 3 good running backs, and they rotated. They didn't rotate 2 guys. They rotated 3 guys. And it was 1 guy on injured reserve for 2 years. And that's what actually gave Matt Breida his opportunity. That's what gave Matt Breida his opportunity. One of their main players was on injured reserve for 2 years, and Matt Breida took advantage of that opportunity and showed that he could be a premier back. Now, he did have a little injury roll, nothing major, but a little injury roll, and that also didn't bode well. It basically pushed him back a little, but the team wanted to go ahead and move on. What I see is an expiring contract here, and I read reports on Matt Breida. I read reports from the general manager and the coach of San Francisco. They basically said they did Matt Breida a favor by trading him so that he would have the opportunity to get more reps. They have so many good running backs over in San Francisco that they literally said he's the expiring contract, and actually we're doing him justice by trading him and allowing him to get a bigger role somewhere because he deserves it. He deserved it. Boy, I thought Breida opted out. Don't say that. Cross your fingers, y'all. Don't say that. Don't do that to us. But no, Breida. Okay, I'll say Breida. Okay, I keep saying Breida. Breida. If that's the way it goes, thank you. I appreciate that, Pontiac. Like I always say, correct me when I'm wrong, acknowledge me when I'm right, all right? And I'm humble enough to be corrected. So, Breida, thank you. But the thing is, they were so loaded at the running back position that it was only right. Let's go ahead and get a little something for him now. We got young backs. Why would we go ahead and keep going with him and pay a larger amount of money because his rookie deal is about to be over? So let's go ahead and utilize him as a piece that we could trade for. And they got a lineman in place of Matt Breida. They selected a lineman in the 5th round in place of Matt Breida. So they actually wanted to let him go. I read from their front office, they said they wanted to give him an opportunity to get more carries because he wasn't going to get more carries in San Francisco. So this was the best move for him, to go to another team and actually hopefully become the guy. Now, will he be the guy? No, because he's going to split carries with Jordan Howard, Kalen Ballage, whoever makes the cut. This is going to be a committee team. But let me tell you why I say that he takes the lead over all the running backs on our roster. It's because he, first of all, averages more yards per carry than Jordan Howard. He averages more yards per carry than anyone on the team with the large enough sample size. That's number one. So he's more productive as a running back. Not only that, he's the only running back on the roster who actually puts up numbers receiving the ball out of the backfield. Again, let me revisit his stats in his first 3 seasons. Rookie season, 180 yards reception. Sophomore season, 261 yards reception. 9.7 yards per reception, might I add. Rookie season, 8.6 yards per reception. Think about that, y'all. When we talk about these other running backs, we talk about 5.6 yards per reception. No, this guy in the open field is dangerous. Last year, 120 yards in receiving, and that was only 5 starts. 5 starts. He's the guy who's going to be on the field when we're in the spread up offense. Jordan Howard is going to be the bang-bang first down, the bang-bang goal line. Matt Breida is going to be the guy who's getting majority of the carries. Why? Because he can run, he can catch. I have to look him up more from a blocking standpoint because I haven't really studied him as a blocker. I just know that he's 5'10", 190 pounds, so I don't put too much emphasis on his blocking. But he can run the ball, more yards per carry than any running back on this roster, average for his career, and he has a good sample size of 3 seasons. And he's the best pass-catching wide receiver on this roster. He's the best pass-catching wide receiver on this roster. He's going to be your dual threat. He's going to be the guy that makes the defense say, what are they doing? We can't tell when they put Breida in. We don't know what they're doing when they put Breida in. He could run the route. He could slip out on a screen. He can go out on a route and catch the ball. See, it's guys like Matt Breida that makes it harder for guys like Jakeem Grant. Follow me here. It's guys like Matt Breida that make it harder for Jakeem Grant because they might flex Matt Breida out and run some routes in some cases before Grant. You have that potential. See, this guy is dual. Ain't no running back on our roster more explosive in the open field than Matt Breida. Nobody's going to run screens better than Matt Breida in the open field. He can't be touched in the open field. He's one of the fastest players in the league. Can't be touched. This is the guy that's going to be your threat. This is the guy that's finally, guys, he might get the most carries in his career now. He might get 15 carries a game. Jordan Howard might be 10. I really think that Matt Breida is the 15. And you know what, to be fair, I would say Matt Breida gets about 13 to 15 rushes a game, and Jordan Howard gets between 8 to 12, depending on who's cooking that day. They're both good receivers, to be honest. Who? You talk about Jordan Howard? That's his weakness. Maybe you're not talking about Jordan Howard, Adrian. Maybe you're not talking about him. Maybe you're talking about the Breida and Wilson comment that was before that. But this guy averages 5 yards per carry for his career. For his career. So I'm sorry. This is why I say Matt Breida is going to be the guy. Matt Breida will be the guy, ladies and gentlemen. He will be the guy. Now, it's time to go into 1 second, guys. We got to go into our history lesson. Ooh, I think I messed that up. Y'all give me a second. Not our history lesson, but the prediction. Where is my slides? Oh, here it is. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all give me a second. Oh, boy. I brought it off the screen and I got to put it back, y'all. So y'all forgive me. Because I want to give you my predictions for Matt Breida this season. One moment, guys. Here we go. I got it now. All right. Let me put this back up here. Y'all forgive me. All right. Where are you, Matt Breida? Okay, here we go. Perfect. Perfecto. Share screen. All right, here's our boy Matt Breida. Take a look at my prediction for 2020. Here's your Matt Breida, ladies and gentlemen, for the 2020 Dolphins. That is my prediction for Matt Breida, 2020 Dolphins. Here is my prediction. I want y'all to look at it and tell me what you think. Put it in the comment section. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it. Please let me know what you think about these numbers for Matt Breida. Remember, again, it's by committee. If you take this number and you take Jordan Howard's number and you put them together, let me go back. Jordan Howard, I said 780. Matt Breida, 980. That's almost 1,800 yards between the two of them. That's almost 1,800 yards between the two of them, plus the cleanup yards from the other guys. This is my prediction for Matt Breida in 2020. 980 yards, just shy of 1,000, because he's still going to be a victim of running back by committee, just like Howard's going to be a victim of running back by committee. But Matt Breida is going to be on the field more than Howard because he's more versatile. He can catch out of the backfield. When you need a team off balance, you got to go with Breida. When you need a first down, you got to go with Howard. When you're somewhere close to the goal line, you got to go with Howard. But when you're in your open field, which is 80 yards worth of field outside of that red zone, Matt Breida is going to be your guy. They're both going to run the ball, but Matt Breida, I look at him to get majority of the carries and him to show that in camp. With the spread offense, with guys like Matt Breida being one of the fastest backs in the league, one-on-one with linebackers coming out of the backfield for receiving. See, it's the receptions, y'all, that's going to be key for Matt Breida. He's going to separate himself by catching the ball out of the backfield and making linebackers pay. That's where he's going to separate himself. 980 rushing yards, but 310 receiving yards. It's going to be the highest output in his career. Receiving yard. It might even be more than 310 on the receiving. I'm being calm here. Still going to average 5 yards a carry. And he going to get 8 touchdowns because we're going to spread it out. And let me tell you something. Them 8 touchdowns, I go out on a limb to say 5 of them might even be passing. I would go out on a limb to say 5 of those 8 touchdowns might even be receiving. Catching the ball out of the backfield, screens, taking it the distance. I'll go out on a limb to say 5 of his 8 touchdowns would actually be from receiving, and 3 of them would be from rushing. Somebody said, for once, I may agree with you, TD. I'm just saying. I actually, when somebody asked me about these guys before, I said they both have 1,000 yards. But no, when I really thought about the scheme, throwing the ball, Chan Gailey, thought about Tua possibly starting and all of that, it's not going to be the case. This is where we're going to make our bread and butter with Matt Breida catching the ball out of the backfield, being that threat. So y'all tell me what y'all think about it. Y'all let me know in the comment section. Do you think I'm overdoing it, underdoing it? Tell me what your thoughts are on these predictions. I'm really interested in it. I like Matt for 1,100 rushing and 450 receiving. Man, that's Pro Bowl-ish, man. That's like slide in Pro Bowl. 450 receiving to go with the 1,100. I think some of y'all are not considering by committee here. I really think you're not considering by committee. This is going to be by committee, but for once, Matt Breida is probably going to be the guy who's ahead of that committee. Some people say it's going to be Jordan Howard. It may look that way, y'all, but Jordan Howard might come out in the first snap and hand the ball off to him. But when you look at the stats at the end of the game, I could see Breida having more carries than Howard on more occasions. I could see Breida having, well, let me not say carries. Let me say snaps. I could see Breida taking more snaps than Howard in almost every game. Why? Because he catches the ball out of the backfield. When it's 3rd and 9, what in the heck we got Howard on the field for? When it's 3rd and 6, why do we have Howard on the field? You see, you get my point here? I even go a little further. When it's 3rd and 4, why is Howard on the field? Not unless we're on the 30-yard line and you want to try to run for those 3-4 yards. And if you don't get it, you still get the field goal. Maybe. But there's going to be too many game situations where Breida is going to need to be on the field. Even if it's 1st and 10. We might be running a play where you run 4 wide. Why is Howard on the field? Unless it's a halfback draw. But even those in the open field, Breida is your better guy. Halfback draw, you got one-on-ones with the linebacker. 4 wide, 2 high safety in a cover 2. Breida's the guy for the job. Howard is the guy, I formation. Single back, zone running, going between the tackles, 2nd and 2, 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4. There you go, Howard. That's where Howard's going to do his work. But Breida is probably going to be on the field 60% of the time. No, I'll say Breida will be on the field 50% of the time. Howard will be on the field about 30% of the time. And the rest of those backs are going to split that 20. However it comes. You might have it between 2 backs getting 10 and 10. Or we still got Balazs to do next. And we might have a bold prediction with that one. Y'all going to have to stay tuned for that one. Oh, man. Howard catches about the same amount. LOL. TD, come on. See, this is what I'm talking about. People want to argue, y'all. Let me help this individual out. Okay? Let me go ahead and put up Jordan Howard. Let me pull him up and then let's compare him and Matt Breida's passing stats, okay? See, I don't care if they catch about the same amount. What's the production when you catch it? Okay? Let's talk about that. What is the production when you catch it? Last year in 10 games, the man had 69 yards on 10 receptions in 10 games. Matt Breida started. Oh, let me back up. Let me back up. Hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. Matt Breida started 5 games, 19 receptions with 120 yards. Doubled his productions in half the starts. So it doesn't really matter to me that they catch about the same amount of balls. What matters to me is who's more productive when they catch it. That's what matters to me. Jordan Howard is a 67% reception. 67% reception percentage. Matt Breida is 75% reception percentage. Not to mention last year he clocked in 86.4% receptions. He catches 4.2. He catches 4 out of every 5 balls, a little more than 4. 4.3 out of every 5 balls he catches. He's the better back catching the ball. Period. He's the better back catching the ball. He gets more and all. Let's see here. And then we talk about Jordan Howard, Jordan Howard started majority of his career. Let's not forget that either. His rookie season, Jordan Howard started 13 games. His second season, he started all 16. His third season, he started 15. Last year, he started 4. He's a perennial starter. And he still ain't had more. Where's that? He still averages. Oh, gosh. I just clicked off of it. Oh, my gosh. I just closed it. Y'all give me a second. I got to pull it back up. He's a speedy back. Breida will be our starting running back. Tua will start, and Preston will come back strong. All right, Jordan Howard. Let me see what y'all saying. You just streaming about anything. Let's see. What did he say? You just streaming about anything these days. Joel Kabita, come on, man. You got to do a little bit better than that. Is this anything? This is predictions for 2020. These are the player bios. Is there any specific subjects that you would like me to stream about? I take suggestions, bro. We do this every offseason. We go through the whole roster and every player. So it's not just about anything. Keep up, man. Keep up. I know we're moving fast, but you got to keep up, man. You got to keep up, all right? All right, I believe Jordan going to start more. Here's my point. If Jordan does start more, when the game is over and you look at the sheet, when you look at snap count, Jordan might be the first one to take a snap. But snap count, I say Breida's going to beat him. Breida's going to beat him on snap count. I don't care who get the first snap, honestly. Breida's going to beat him on a snap count. I love how TD handles the trolls. Joel, I'm just teasing him. Breida definitely starting. I think Breida started. It's still, guys, these guys got to come into camp and they're going to be competing against each other. So we really don't know. All I know is Jordan Howard was the guy in Chicago for 3 years straight, which he almost put up 1,000 yards each season. And he had good numbers. But his average rush per carry, even in those 3 seasons, was only 4.3 yards. Matt Breida been averaging 5.1 for his career. If you think 4.3 ain't different from 5.1, Dolphin fans, we ought to know better than anyone. 3rd and inches, they go with Howard. It's that simple. Can we get top 10 Tannehill moments? We have to do top 300, man. We'd have to do top 300. Oh, man, I'm not trolling TD. I was just playing. TD's my guy. I know, Joel. Don't worry about them saying trolling. Don't worry about them, man. I just be messing with with Joel. Man, forget that hater TD. Carry on. Ain't no haters, man. Ain't no haters. I was just y'all don't know. Joel's good, man. Who the green bean said that? Who the green bean said that? Oh, I don't know what he's talking about. TD, if Howard and Breida get over 1,000 yards each, will we make the playoffs? We have to. If both of them get over 1,000 yards, because I already know our wide receivers are going to eat. What you have to understand is if you got 2,000-yard backs, that means you have a surplus in first downs. That means you're keeping the ball moving. If they're getting over 1,000 yards, you're in field goal range. You're getting first downs. It's a whole different world. It's a whole different world. So, yes, of course we're in the playoffs. Tannehill made top 100 TD. He finally gets respect. He still don't get respect, Aaron, but he gonna keep taking it. I ain't gonna lie. The main reason I root for Tannehill, even though I am a fan of his, the main reason I root for him is just to listen. Because the haters were so wrong all this time, and they still hold on to it. That's why I root for nothing but success for him to just keep winning. Just keep winning, Tannehill. Not against the Dolphins, but just keep on showing these people that don't know football that they were wrong. And he's proven it. Simple. Both over 1,000 yards. Yeah, it ain't going to happen in my opinion, but if it does, that's crazy. Optimism at an all-time high. Big boy, didn't you unsubscribe from TD? What y'all talking about? Missed the training camp live stream last summer, going through the live tweets. Yeah, I know, man. Last year, we were doing the live tweets. We were covering training camp. But you got to understand, they're not practicing right now, guys. They're not practicing right now. They're just in there. And they're also probably going to have that 21-day strength and conditioning period. Take it back 2 months with team voluntary workouts. That's what they're going to be doing, and they're going to be watching film. They ain't going to be practicing until the middle of August. TD, I don't get how people say Henry carried Tannehill, but didn't do that when Mariota started. I know. Just ignore them. Because then they're also not talking about how Tannehill carried the team in the regular season. But it's all good. But anyway, man, back to our running backs, man. This is Matt Breida. Oh, why am I on Kalen Ballage right now? This is Matt Breida. This is my 2020 prediction. Y'all let me know in the comment section what you think. Do you think this is the Matt Breida we're going to get? Do you think that it's possible? Do you think that he becomes the guy that gets more snaps than Jordan Howard? Y'all let me know in the comment section what you think about this. These are our running backs. These are the top two guys that people expect to be the top guys. But hey, we got another one coming up next. Kalen Ballage, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what TD got to say about that. That should be coming up next, Kalen Ballage. And I'm probably going to stop on the day for Kalen Ballage and then pick up with the rest of the running backs tomorrow, like Patrick Laird, Malcolm Perry. We got a few of them, y'all. We got a few more on the roster. It's time to talk about Kalen Ballage. You may not get the notification for the next one because YouTube is funny. After you do 3 videos in a day, the 4th video, they don't usually send out the notification. I don't even think they sent this one out, but to a handful of people. That's how it works. That's why I encourage everybody to hit the like button because it'll tell YouTube to tell more people about the channel. This TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Crystal ball, Matt Breida, can you do it for us? This would be success, and I'm rooting for him. Let's go. I'm out. Peace.